Ahoy there, mateys. Welcome back to another episode of Limbus Company Daily Mirror Dungeon. Yar! Now that's enough of that joke. But yeah, Canto 5 is out now, finally. I've currently beaten the actual first week of content for that. I'll make sure to leave this relatively spoiler-free, though I changed the loading screen and everything, so it won't become an issue. But there's a lot to talk about, because we've got a new unit. That is the wrong Gregor. I've on my bleed... Twin Hook's Pirate Gregor. Now, this is a fun unit. Once again, you can check my, actual Canto 5 playthrough to see my first looks at that. This is a very fun, poise unit that can benefit some bleeds, uses some ammo, and overall, very fun to build around. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be building around you. And also, something else that I just straight up didn't notice in my playthrough. It's just a Yuri announcer, and you can just buy it. Might as well. I haven't heard it yet, so, we'll run with that. We'll run this for the actual thing. We're doing a Gregor build, so it makes perfect sense. Yeah, the loading screen's a well-purchased night one. But here's the basic plan for this run. We have Nebulizer, so we start with a bunch of poise. Pride Residence gives even more poise, which is definitely possible to do, so we can hope for that. And while we do have 7 people, 2 of these people we're never going to actually add to the team. Bladeland is Yi-Song. While I have the most SP gains, +1 poise count from skills. If we play this right, it'll always be Gregor. And LCCB Ryoshu, who I'll actually focus on in the future. She doesn't work too well with the pirate, though, but her support passive does. If an ally with least ammo uses a skill, it spends ammo gain 3 poise once per turn. So that way we can just keep on building up poise count and poise a little more realistically. And as far as the rest of the units we've went with, it's a bunch of, bleed units. And this is because of Gregor's passive. On heads hit against target with bleed, gain unjust enrichment, or as I like to call it, a doubloon, which you can spend if on his skill 3 to do insane amounts of damage with the second coin. So that's the basic plan. Hopefully it'll go well, and we're gonna send it. Yeah, I won't. I probably will refrain from talking about Canto 5 itself for at least a couple days. I'll probably, Sunday is probably when I'll, actually reference it in Mirror Dungeon 2. But it's really good if you haven't played it already. I'd highly suggest you do. It's gonna be hard to resist, talking about it, but I think I can probably manage. Especially because this new unit is super cool. I forgot to put on the Yuri announcer. I'll do that next fight. God. Probably some other thing you need to check out. There's no new egos, which is very interesting. You really would have expected there to be new egos, but no, second week we're gonna get new egos. The first 20 levels of the pass are just random rewards and stuff. Nothing too special there. Okay, we're gonna shoot this guy. Cool. If we can get some more, some bleed ego gifts, that could synergize super well with Gregor. Because this team's basically just set around building up Gregor as much as possible by trying to, a bunch of bleed count. The potency itself isn't the important part, it's mostly the bleed count. We do have some bleed potency-oriented units anyways. Mainly just because I felt like using Hukonglu again. It's a fun unit, it's one I feel like I haven't used too much yet, due to it being relatively recent. Okay, but I need to remember, we need to equip Yuri Announcer. I need to hear it. Because I've got no idea. What will it sound like? Pierce or Blunt? What do we take? Probably this. This is probably likely to have Pierce Weak. And we want Pierce Weak because that's what Gregor's attacks are. Yes, Announcers. We'll turn off the other ones for now. And only throw on Yuri. Or at least, a couple runs, since she's the new one. Let's see what she has to say. If we try using some mass text, we might be able to hear her dialogue for killing multiple ones. No, unfortunate. It's definitely a very sad person to give an announcer for, but it makes enough sense. We're also going to be getting an Effian Sound announcer sometime later this season. Whoa, how did you do that? That totally caught me off guard. It sure did, Yuri. The situation isn't ideal, but I know you guys can do it. The announcers have actually been saying that recently. I think that voice line is bugged for most announcers right now, because I keep on being in super advantageous situations. The announcer's like, oh, this isn't looking good. Like, I don't have a single person staggered. I don't even think I took a single hit of damage. They've got several people staggered. And the announcer's like, oh no, this doesn't look great, guys. It's a little wacky. It doesn't make a big difference, all things considered. It's a minor nitpick. Zermax saying now, so now every time you gain poise, is it anytime he gains poise potency or just poise count? Gains +1 poise count skills. Is it only things that actually give him poise count? He does have quite a few ways to gain poise count. It'll mean that he's pretty positive on most of the things. Especially because this doesn't have a limit to how many times it can proc per turn. Which is really nice. A lot of attacks like that would. Yeah, the actual bleed part of Gregor isn't for, dealing damage. It's just for setting up his status effect. It does create, it is done in such a very interesting way, because all of his attacks are 2-coin attacks. However, all of them, their first coin inflicts bleed on a crit. So if you crit with the first coin, no matter what, if you get a heads on the second coin, you'll trigger his passive and get at least 1 doubloon. And of course, whenever he uses a coin that with ammo consumes all unjust enrichment and deal 25% additional damage for each one stacked, and they have a max of 4, so pretty good stuff. We can shoot this guy. Yeah, why not? He won't run out of bleed, yeah, okay. That's good. Doesn't have enough coins to run out of bleed. So we'll be able to get a little bit of unjust enrichment on him, and then bam. And that's endured. Against even neutral things, if you have 4 unjust enrichment and if you get a crit, you can get some really easy kills off. Kinda annoyed I forgot to use actual poise passives in my Canto 5 playthrough, because that would have helped a lot. Although even without the poise passives, he's honestly not the worst at maintaining poise. He can't maintain it for a long time, though, that's the thing. He relies on his skill 2 to maintain his poise count a little too heavily. But with a little bit additional poise count, then he's usually in a decent spot. Yeah, we'll take Homeward, why not? It's a nice one. God, I feel like there's so much to say. And I guess... Let's see. We're probably going to see whatever next week's identities are going to be in some degree tomorrow. Potentially? Are we gonna see... I know Project Moon's 7th anniversary is next week, I think? It's like what? Is it the 20th? Is it Monday? It might be next Monday. They might announce something for that now, or maybe they'll wait till Monday itself to announce such a thing. I guess we'll see. I could definitely imagine that being a case. Oh, didn't even get the chance to use the funny there. That's unfortunate. I don't know what they do for their anniversary, but probably something cool. Like a Farm Watch. Farm Watch as a joke is never going to die. It's unfortunately going to be an infinite thing till the end of time at this point. Because we're not getting Farm Watch. People want Farm Watch. I want Farm Watch, but we're not getting it at this point. I just need to resist. I just need to not make the joke. I think that's secret. Also, yeah, geez, with that passive, Gregor's poise count is exceptional. The Nebulizer is really good too, but it's not nearly as important. That's a bunch of cost. I like cost, especially early on. Greatcoat's pretty good too. It'll make us so our Gloom attacks heal, aka Gregor's skill 3, his pistol shot. Yeah, I'm gonna do something like that. That looks good. Unknown Screams. And we're just gonna run with buy people for this whole run. I could buy people at one of the rest stops or a shop, but honestly 5 units is more than enough. Pretty much most of the time. Yeah, this will work. Looks good. And besides, if we run less than the max amount of people, then Gregor's gonna get more skill slots. Means we might want to get, like, one more person then. Is there anyone else that's really good for, like, just keeping bleed decently? Who's got good nails? I'm trying to think, because nails is pretty good for us, because nails is bleed count. We don't particularly want a unit like, I know N Corp Heathcliff is, like, awful for bleed. He's a damage dealer. Most of the N Corp units aren't that great for bleed. I think... And we've got most, like, the good we've got the good N Corp bleed people on our team already, even if not in their N Corp identities. Like, you two are also decent. There might just not be anything better for bleed count, then. That's fine. This time we'll be fine. I think this means that Rhodion's going to be the other person who gets a second skill slot, which is fine. She's a poise bleed unit, so, you know, that's kind of why I'm so chilled. But yeah, look at that damage. And he gets coin boost whenever he kills with a gunshot. He only has 2 coin attack, so it's a relatively minor effect compared to some other coin boost, or coin power-up receivers, but that's still fine. Speaking of coin power-up, when we inevitably do get Blind Obsession Ishmael, it is going to give all allies coin power-up for some ungodly reason. Which is pretty cool. No one needs healing? That's fine with me. Unfortunate thing about having people we're never going to use is they might get their selected here. They did not. Cigarette holders a take, that's for sure. Do we give you another skill 3? Do we give you another skill 2? Maybe. I should not mess with your skills, actually. I think I should just leave you be. I feel like I'm going to remove something if I change your skills. I can't do a skill 1 to skill 3 anyways. Let me actually familiarize myself with what you do exactly. Yeah, skill 1 to skill 2 probably would have been a good choice then. This one also is bleed. Your skill 1's your skill 1's very negligible. Good to know for the future. That's one of those units I still very infrequently use. Like, if I can... Oh, God. Yeah, this is Pegatuli fight. It looks a little different now. It actually has a little symbol above showing, you know, what body part it is to, like, help differentiate in multi-body part fights. Now, if you select on this, it does that, but, like, only the first time, so it doesn't keep on dragging you. That's nice. You can press this to, like, toggle between views. Between, like, looking at everything, like the middle, and looking at the avenues in particular. Which is nice. Who do we ignore? That's always the question. Top right, yeah, okay. We clash these ones then. The best as we can, at least. There's some high-speed rolls. Might not be able to do all of them. We'll see. Yeah, we can't do all of them. Okay. Then we're gonna let that attack go through. One-sided that thing, and then gripping that. There we go. I know you resist lust, I think. You know, that's a little unfortunate. I can't tell, actually. No, I think do you resist lust? You might. How did you do that? That totally caught me off guard. Thank you, Yuri. It's nice to get new announcers. It's not something I really ever pay attention to anymore. I've kind of grown numb of them just because I'm so used to them, like, saying whatever. Oh, that was an instant stagger, though. That's pretty nice. Not because there was, like, a particularly great skill, though, just because the target was weak, I think. But still good. Okay, we've got some stuff. Not really much to warrant anything special, though. I think we just keep on going. You can be the clasher this turn, why not? Everyone else is going to be on killing duty. Yeah, that guy's going to live. That's okay. Three of them are going to die. That's good enough for me. And this will be good poise. God. Blade Lineage Yusung's passive, my beloved. Also, I now can confirm he gains +1 poise count from poise potency too. Yeah, that's insanely good. I assumed as much given how insane Gregor's poise was looking. But jeez. That crit almost made the difference. That's fine. Well, we're gonna shoot this one dead. We've got... Oh, did we not actually... We didn't get any doubloons? Oh, okay, that's fine. I would have thought we would have gotten some doubloons from that entire debacle. Not really a good word for what I was trying to say, but that works. It's fine. Also, Ryoshi's passive really isn't that notable. It's just more poise when we use our gun. It's 3 poise potency when we use our gun. Usually if we use our gun, our potency is already like 20-ish. But you want Gregor to be at 21 potency, usually. Because then he gets +3 coin power to his skill 3, just for maximum damage. Deal and take... Okay. Deal more damage and take less damage against enemies with bleed. Don't mind if I do. Now you just gotta give me, like... Also, this might be the apple. Oh, let's see if the transition is still here. It's not. Okay. That's good to know. The transition's now only for when you actually fight things in the story. That's good. It wasn't the apple, so you know Yuri's been spared. You hit that guy. You're gonna be the only one who hits that guy, honestly. Not a bad idea. Just to make sure that Gregor gets his poise going. Yeah, lost resistance moment. That's fine. Rampage will take him down. Without a doubt, yeah. It's a strong 2-star. The average Honglu identity, though. You know. Okay, well, we can just do like this, and that'll work, because, you know, Gregor's gonna be the one who finishes him off. He gets a little more poise in the process. Now, this guy's here. What are you weak to? You're neutral to Gregor's gun. Good to know. I think I'm gonna wait on using the gun a little bit longer, though. Okay, we do something like that, and, you two should get redirected. Like this. Like this. Yeah, okay. Good enough. Gain some poise. Got a crit. Lose poise count. Endless now. And next turn, potentially, or maybe the turn after that, we'll gun with Gregor. Nice. God, especially with the passive from Blade Lineage, Gregor's a monster. We haven't even seen his, you know, true potential yet. That being what he can do right now. 2, okay, that's something. We can get a little bit of... Actually, this is nice. We can inflict a little bit of bleed with Honglu, and then we'll be able to get a little bit of doubloons from that. Let me just keep on attacking you, and I think you just die. You resist Pierce, but you're also a weak little baby, so I don't think that'll make too big of a difference. Gregor's attack is insane. Yeah. That much damage against something that's, you know, resisted. It's a little bit. And then we crit with Sky Clearing Cut to finish the job. Nice! Cinematic. Down they go. God. What a fun identity. I just really love these identities that have their own little, like, cool gimmicks. It's usually like a vague charge. If you know what I mean. Stuff like, it's not actually charged in the slightest, but it's usually got their own, like, counter, stuff like that. Because, like Talisman Sinclair, DHE Rodion, and now, you know, Pirate Gregor, they've all got their own, like, self-status effect that they kind of need to, like, manage. They need to, like, maintain in some ways to get a big benefit. And it's super fun. What do we take here? None of this really helps us too much. Inflict Sinking. Do we have anything that inflicts Sinking? No. Burn. We've got nothing that inflicts Burn. We've got nothing that inflicts Tremor. I'll take the Bracelet. Simply because IDK. I should have taken the Thorny Path. In a situation like that, when nothing really benefits you, you should always take the one that's from a random event. And not the one that's only found in... Like, because the ones in events, if you take one that's... If you take an EO gift that's from an event, then, well, you can't see that event now, so you've got a better chance of getting something you actually want from events. If you understand what I'm trying to say with this. I may be phrasing it a little strange, but you know... Because the Thorny Path was the only one of the 3 you actually get from an event in Mirror Dungeon. The other 2 you can only get in shops and, like, randomly. So if I took Thorny Path there'd be 1 less event to get, which means we'd be more likely to get something, like, super beneficial for us. Something like Gossipium or, like... something else super beneficial. There's definitely more beneficial things, it's just... You get what I'm saying. Something like Wound Cleared could be super good for us for more bleed. Rusted Knife could be decent. I don't know how much Lust stuff we're using. Maybe though. Okay, we don't have a lot of doubloons, so this isn't gonna do too insane of damage, but it's still a lot of damage, because you're staggered, yeah. It's still 200 damage from that skill. That's victory. Very simple fight. Very, very simple fight. We keep on going middle path, yep. More fights. Keep on going full steam forwards.
여기다가 말하면 녹음되는 건가요? 힘내세요.
Do we start with a gun? No, probably not. We can do a second turn, like, with what we have going right now, a second turn gun is more than, like, good enough to do a lot of damage. And with some of these guys resist Pierce, I didn't see, are these... there's some of them are the ones that are resistant to Slash, I think. Maybe? I think in this fight, the normal guys are resistant to Slash, and the Class 3 guys are resistant to Pierce. Yeah, okay. Even though these guys may resist Slash, but we can still gun them. Oh, that reminds me of something I did want to bring up that I do not like from this update. The new Luxcavations. So far, as of recording this, there's only been, you know, the XP Luxcavation, fine, it's K-Corp. It's not that big of a deal. But the Thread Luxcavation gives 1 more thread than the level 31. And it's much more annoying because it's the Brazen Bull, but it's, you know, only resistant to Gloom. I need to just build a team around it, I understand that fact, and I need to get my units to level 40 to stand a better chance, but god, it just wins every clash the first turn. And because you don't have any ego resources like you normally would against some other bullfights, there's not much to do. I'm sure the others won't be as bad. The bull's kind of an outlier for being such an annoying roller. But it's weak to Gloom, so sinking spam works. Gregor should get another skill too, definitely. Or do we want to give him another skill? Do we want to give him another gun? Let's give him another gun. We're taking Gossipium as well. This is Bleed. That's super good for us. And then this is Slash. This is also super good for us. Yeah, we'll take a bunch of stuff here. Why not? That's good for just killing things fast, which isn't good for, like, getting our funny number higher, but... I mean, it means enemies will get staggered faster. Staggered enemies can't, you know... spend bleed, they're gonna gain bleed from Gossipium and they get staggered. Gregor can then use that bleed to gain more of his doubloons. This is the issue, yeah. Well, we can just go for an immediate gun. We'll see just how beneficial that is. It's not going to be very beneficial. That's the issue, but... Rider Ram also just kills. So this guy's dead. Rampage also probably just kills. It depends on how long it takes to stagger. Yeah, that was definitely... That definitely killed. Because I know those guys are resistant to Pierce, but didn't make big enough of a difference, it seems. Is that the one being shot? It sure is. So he's not actually going to even get shot. Well, that's fine. Hopefully we get to change Gregor's skills again, because I'd like another skill too. His skill 2 is super good to use as like an initial starter. Since it's, you know, +3. It effectively is a +5 poise count with the passive. Which is really good. Especially when he gets multiple skill slots, he can use multiple things a turn. Although I'm fine with less of his skill 1s in general anyways, because they're not as interesting as the others. Skill 1 shouldn't be as interesting as the others, so I don't know why I say it like that's such a big deal. Nice. Good stagger, good stagger.
상황이 좋다고 할 수는
And keep
없지만
on killing. Keep on
여러분은
killing her.
하실 수 있을 거예요.
We'll try a foregone conclusion here.
정화.
Good enough time for it, I'd say. Oh. You're beating up your own, like, leader, N-Corp guy. What are you doing? Not nice. I do guess question of the day. What are your thoughts on Pirate Gregor? I know he's definitely going to be a fan favorite unit. On appearance alone, he's going to be fan favorite, but he's got like a pretty fun gimmick to him too. I think, I don't know. It depends on how much. It depends on what kind of units people like. But I really like those like semi micromanagement type units where you actually have to like maintain their resources. Charge units do not fall into this category, simply because they are charge units and therefore they do not need to think about their charge count.
힘내세요.
The recorder on, do I speak through here? Oh. Is the joke with that, the recorder on, so is the joke that she recorded these before she died? If so, that is cruel. And it could be crueler. Look at the unused cutscenes, for example. Yeah, personally, Pirate Gregor,
잘 드네요.
super cool design, super fun to use. What more could you ask for? And it's for Gregor, who's like one of my favorite centers. Either Gregor or Dawn's my favorite center. It depends. They're both pretty awesome. Okay, you're almost staggered. You guys that do get staggered just kind of come back, but we can shoot you. You're gonna resist it, but we'll shoot you. So that's pretty cool. Oh, we actually got a skill 2 off first, so you're no longer resistant. Yeah. Look at that, like... It's so good. I'm gonna keep on saying that just because it's such a fun identity to use. I haven't gotten, like, much benefit from LCCB Ryoshu yet. I definitely think it could be decent. It's not a damage either, though. It's a status effect unit, so, eh. Wrath or Bleed inflicts more bleed? Sure. We should probably have some Wrath attacks that don't necessarily inflict bleed that will get a little more bleed from them. That could be good for us. Okay, that's good. We have 7 slots now. Not that I'm going to do anything about that, but as far as Wrath skills go, your skill 2, your skill... Or no, just your skill 1, which I'm sure already inflicts bleed, but not a lot of it. Yeah, like, normally only the second coin does, so now your first coin also gains some bleed, and your second coin gains additional bleed, and any bleed effect we have is just more bleed thanks to Wound Cleared. So, you know, that's still super good. It's not bleed count. That's the downside. That's what we're really trying to focus on. The bleed potency matters too, because you can gain 1 poise for every 3 bleed on target, max of 10. So you can just straight up gain 10 poise if the target is 30 bleed, which isn't impossible. It's unlikely in normal fights. It's kind of going to be relegated to special fights, like bosses, especially in stuff like Mirror Dungeon 2 Hard, where you can get bosses that are super setup heavy. Stuff like, what are some good bosses for bleed? Stuff like KQE. Like, KQE doesn't do very many attacks each turn, which is kind of a downside for bleed, I know, but it also means you can kind of set it up pretty easily. I think that's actually what I did in Refraction Railway 2 against Refraction Railway 1 against KQE. I'm pretty sure I just bled it out. Which is funny since it's, you know, a robot, but it is a fleshy robot, so, you know, it makes sense. I also didn't even have, like, a bleed team in Refraction Railway 1. I just kind of was like, oh, I've got a couple bleed units. What if I tried it? Oh, whistles? Nice. Doesn't matter that much for us. Not really running a lot of N-Corp stuff, but it's still cool. Down they go, though. God. Poise Redemption arc just goes so hard. Alright, let's see how this goes. What's it gonna be? 3 Gloom, 2 Lust. Okay. These things are gonna take a lot of damage from this. Anything really could take a lot of damage from that, so Not really a shocker. You go for you. You go for you. You can go for you, and then you two deal with these two? Oh, no, you can't. Was anyone going for Ryoshu or Rodion? Yeah, that one's going for Rodion. Keep on mixing up the names because they both start with R's. That's literally the only reason why. I'm just bad with names. Funny as that may be. Okay, this is the play. Get a crit with the first coin, please. No, unfortunate. Oh, you get a crit with the second coin, though, so you inflicted bleed, possibly?
깜짝 놀랐어요.
Wait a second. Wait. Is Wound Cleared working how I think it might be working? Do all of Gregor's coins inflict bleed with Wound Cleared because they inflict bleed on poise, and therefore there are skills with bleed on them? Wait. If that's so, then that's really good.
저기
Because the thing about Wound Clear that's so interesting is
같아요.
dealing damage to enemies using a Wrath or Bleed effect skill. So if the skill is Wrath or has any bleed at all, it inflicts 3 bleed with every attack. Now the thing about Gregor is, every one of his skills has bleed infliction on it, although a lot of the times it's on crit. And you may have noticed, he gained a doubloon there, but he didn't get a crit with the first coin, so he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have, unless he inflicted bleed on the first hit naturally. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try and see if I can get a better look at that. See if I can get a sense as to if we're triggering Wound Cleared. It'll show if I'm looking for it. It's not like it's that hard of a thing to notice. Okay, well, we'll kill those two, yeah. That'll work for me.
정화.
Let's see, his skill 1 inflicts bleed count anyways, but it doesn't inflict 3 bleed potency, which Wound Cleared would, so if Gregor's skills do that, then that's really good.
아마 그 공격이 약점이었겠죠.
It means he's basically gonna get, like, free. I think Wound Cleared just triggered. I think so. I'll have to double check, but I think Wound Clear triggered there. I might have misseen, but if I am right, that is
좋다고 할 수는 없지만
super cool.
여러분은 하실 수 있을 거예요.
It's like a interesting synergy that makes enough sense that I'm like not questioning it too much, but it's not really something I was considering to be a possibility until just now. That guy bleeds to death. We've got guaranteed crits now. Now we get, what is it, an event into a shop, I think? Hopefully we get Gregor again. I'd like to change his skills more. Charge, sure. I'll take top path. Bluer, sure. There's only one person on the team without Pride, because Pride's very common on both poise and bleed stuff. Commemorative coin isn't particularly great for us. Blood's Frontiers is. I'll take it. You could use a skill 1 to skill 2, as I was saying earlier. And we don't really need that. Okay. That's fine. We'll save the rest of our costs for the final shop on the next floor. The boss of this floor is Fish, who is in fact weak to Pierce, and I think the body's weak to Gloom if I'm not mistaken?
여기다가
I might be mistaken though, so we'll see.
힘내세요. 정화.
Although the body might not be weak to Pierce, it's got weird resistance. I know that much about the Fish. I know there's at least a part that's weak to Gloom and at least a part that's weak to Pierce. I think everything is weak to Pierce except for maybe like the body.
어떻게 하신 거죠?
Body's weak to Gloom or something like that. Something vice versa maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
상황이
This fight's not gonna last too long. These guys are all bleeding out already. And we can double gun just to really like send a message. We're not even gonna get a chance to gun these guys. They're gonna bleed to death. I guess that guy didn't quite bleed to death, but we sure didn't get to gun him anyways. This guy definitely bleeds to death, yeah. We're just doing too much damage for our own good. That's also crit on a Tails from Sky Clearing Path. That's sad to see.
아마 그
That's a sharp blade. I'm guessing that's their
약점이었겠죠?
weakness, huh? No, they actually resist slash attacks. Yuri, you're not good at this.
이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는
You're not
거야?
good at this weakness analysis thing. Although I guess sharp blades don't necessarily do slash.
도움이 될지는 모르겠지만
No, the body's weak to both pierce and gloom. The rest of it is weak to neither of those. Okay. That's really good for us then. You're being targeted a little bit. We don't like that too much. We'd like to prevent that from happening too much. You're being hit by that. Okay. We can clash that. We'd like to get some bleed on this thing. And a lot of it. Inflict 1 bleed count. Inflict bleed count. Inflict bleed count. 7 plus speed. Inflict. More bleed count. Okay, this will be good. Yeah. This will work. This will work. You can redirect one of those. You can clash one of those. Like, you do this. Scattering slash. One of these two. What are we more concerned with? Probably the clap. Okay, you can clash that then. That'll work. This should be fairly decent. We just need Demolish to win. Nice. And this will inflict, like, what, 4 bleed count, was it? Yeah, 4 bleed count. Okay. Then that'll probably remain like that, and Gregor should be able to get a bunch of his doubloons. Yep, okay. That's nice. That's 2 doubloons right there. Very good. Good. And you get hit a little bit. Got tails, though, so you can inflict the attack power down. That's very nice. Okay, so we're going to... Against the body, we're going to unilateral business into foregone conclusion. Ideally to go in the correct order. We'll have to see. Because that'll do a lot. And no one else is going to bother with the body, because this probably just straight up kills it. Everyone else just focus on clashing. Is there anything going for you? There is. Okay, so you can clash one of those, like this one. That'll work. You clash that. You clash that. And that should be fairly decent. Fish, I think we'll just die to Gregor. This thing, it's very fitting that the pirate's so good at killing this giant fish. That's for sure. Ooh, we actually lose with unilateral business. Okay, we get at least 1 attack off. That's good. We stagger then. We're on conclusion. We're at 4. We're at max. 311 damage with that skill 3. Very nice. It all just falls into place. Gloom resource. We don't need resources that much, but sinking is even less worthwhile for us, so we'll take this one. And we're on to the final floor now. Shop's bottom path. Okay, we'll take that. Then we'll do something like this, probably. That'll work. 3 events if we do that. That's pretty nice. And I have the option between 2 fights or taking 2 Abno fights if I take that path. I'll probably just do normal fights. I don't really think we need to get more EO gifts from Abnos, so I'm not going to particularly go for them. We'll go for the foregone conclusion. Yeah. It's a good skill. It's pretty atrocious without, you know, the additional damage. Because that was a neutral. Like, it did 40 damage on a neutral with 2 heads. Like, it's awful. You really shouldn't use that unless you've got, you know, the poise count. Just figured I might as well there. And Gregor games, after all. He's a gamer. Okay, we used foregone conclusion to bleed that guy to death there. That's also another way to use it. Just don't even attack with it. Okay. And this guy is done. Nice. There we go. 27 potency on his boys there. A couple. Who's the boss going to be? I don't think it matters too much. Oh, that's Pierce and Gloom, though. That's actually perfect. It's either Centipede or it's Fox. Either way, it's super weak to the gun. Oh, I saw a Thunder Branch and I got excited for a second before realizing this isn't even a Rupture run. I just have the Rupture mindset. We'll take Illusory Hunt for more damage. And you should take another skill, too, I think, yeah? Yeah. And I guess we'll take Thunder Branch anyways. Not really much else to do. There's no other passives that actually help poise nearly as much as the ones we already have. Okay. This is sinking. Sure. not that important for us, but it's cool. What would have been really good for us is if we saw Fairy Longlegs there instead of Fey Lantern. Because Fairy Longlegs can give us even more poise. Okay, we'll do a Foregone Conclusion immediately here, and we'll get whistles to trigger, sure. Might as well. I just want to go for the Foregone Conclusion just because it'll actually win the clash. We haven't used an ego so far this run, and I don't really think we're going to need to. We'll have to see. Maybe I should use it to do additional damage to, like, the boss, whatever it is, potentially? I don't know, though. I don't know how necessary that's going to be. Just go for this, and I think they'll die this turn. Especially since so many of them are already bleeding out. Instead of them being paralyzed first turn. Yeah. We only used like half of our attacks a turn and they all died. Really just a 1.5 turn fight. We get another normal fight now, and then we get our events. It's a blunt week. AKA it could be almost anything. It's you guys, okay. You're weak to Pierce. You don't have a great chance of winning this clash, and you're semi-weak to it. Too bad. It's worth it for the lost absolute resonance. Yeah, look at how much damage we're doing with some of our other guys thanks to your sacrifice, Rodion. Yeah, we straight up killed one of them. That guy's almost dead. He's just clinging on to life by a thread. And Foregone Conclusion is gonna do decently here, even though we don't have the most poise, we don't have the most doubloons. Still decent. Yep, that's a kill. And we spent all our doubloons, but this one's also... Oh, that one just bleeds to death. Never mind. No need to worry about it then. And you're the only one left, and we execute you. We get the funny benefit from execution killing. Not that it helps us at all. Fight's already over, but it's funny to see either way. How did you do that? It's called the prowess of a grade 9 fixer. Okay. Charge, sure. Anything special here? Final Abno? Okay. This is just gonna really make sure we kill this thing second turn. Either way, whichever one it is, I'm just gonna gun it down and it might just straight up die. Okay, Centipede it is. That's pretty good for us. That's unfortunate for us. We'd really like his skill too here. Well, that's fine. We want to inflict as much nails as possible. Gaze is also pretty good. And the body is the one that's weak to Pierce, so this is the one we want to set up on either way. And then, yeah, Demolish is the best thing for inflicting more bleed count. And you can just inflict more bleed. Okay, that'll work for now. Luckily, he managed to build up a little bit of his doubloons with that. Hopefully next turn he'll be able to use a little bit more. We're stacking the bleed. This will do good. Yeah, that's pretty nice bleed count. And it'll be increased even more by the nails. Yeah, now the body's at 8 count. Okay. The body's also about to get staggered. We need to clash with the head, but, like, you're not getting a self-charge this turn. You're just not. Yeah, we could do a unilateral business into a Foregone Conclusion. I like that, the sounds of that. More bleed. More bleed. You should probably clash against this. Yeah, that'll work. Execution. This. Clash with that just to make sure it goes first-ish. But this'll work. The body's getting staggered here. Oh, yep, there's the contract triggered as well, so took a bunch more damage. It does half HP, and our barrage has not started yet. Okay, this to make sure our poise is good. Oh, we are instantly gaining a bunch of poise on this one. Okay. We just did 500 damage with Gregor's skill 3. Good to know. Good to know. It's got a little bit of self-charge. Not a lot. It actually wouldn't have self-charged if we just didn't clash with Honglu, I think. Oh well. This is still pretty fine. But, like... I mean, for the funny... We just let Gregor shoot it twice and it dies. Won't have to worry about that. Self-charge is kind of... It's hard to actually, like, just not have to worry about self-charge with this guy. Yeah, there we go.
다행이에요.
And, you know... I think that was a pretty good showcase of just how strong Pirate Gregor is. Super fun unit. So fun. And, of course, you win and he's like, alright, let's rob their wallets. Truly an icon. Where would we be without Pirate Gregor? We can get 3 battle pass levels, which is super nice. Almost up to 40 already. Also, it like looks different there. That's weird. It's like glowing. Oh, I've got something to claim too. Ah, that makes sense. Oh, I can actually see it bright now. I can't see it bright anymore, but that was like a slight glimpse as to what it looks like in color. I still don't know which of them it is. I'll check later. This is the 10th one, though. But now I'm already past level 40. It hasn't been a day since Kanto 5 dropped. And I'm already fully able to claim all the rewards from the second week. God. Honestly, depending on how I go about this, I might be able to pretty easily get to level 120 before the 3rd week if I just kind of spam a little bit of mirror dungeoning. Which is very tempting, so I might just do that. And of course, no extractions to do because I did them in the actual... when the update came out. And it worked very well because I managed to get, you know, this guy in a single 10 pull alongside the 2-star. But either way, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Landlubbers. Bye.